Hi Taurus, I'd like to welcome back my subscribers and those of you who are not subscribers. Welcome, welcome. My name is Jackie. This is going to be a general Taurus reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And the title of this reading is They Went No Contact. Is it permanent or is it temporary? We really should have a subheading of what's the story. I'm sorry for the pause, but Gemini just got this. I just did a reading. They get the same crowning energy as you guys did, and now I'm pulling you guys a second one here too, and this is just going to be for you Taurus, that I will pull at the end of the reading. Okay, let's see what we have. I hope you guys are doing well. Remember, these are general readings. It's not possible to catch everyone's energy consistently on this platform. Please take what resonates, throw out the rest, and please don't try to make it fit. And understand that when I reference your partner's energy, it could very well be your energy. It's just, it's the enmeshment of relationship readings. It makes sense if you think about it, you know. Your energy is so enmeshed that I get the energy, so you need to kind of apply it. But when I meditate on the cards before I turn the camera on, I do have intention for, like, this first row is going to be your partner's energy of right before you guys went no contact. The second row is going to represent your energy, and then the third row is going to represent where your partner is at right now. But again, when I address these, it could be vice versa. Okay, most of you know that, but I do like to just say that anyway. Yeah, and if this doesn't resonate, that was a terrible shuffle. If this doesn't resonate, please check your rising, your moon, and your Venus. Especially your Venus, because it's a relationship read, right? Yeah, sure. All right, let's see what we have. This row here is going to be your advice, starting out with some karma. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to pull two more right away, and I'm not going to turn them over until after. Okay, this first one is going to be if you guys are going to be in contact again. We'll pull that, we'll turn that at the end. And this one is going to be a predictor for you Taurus moving forward. You guys see this okay? Let me just move this a little bit that way, I think. Okay, all right, so let's get into this. Yeah, so Gemini got this card. That's so weird. That was the last reading I did, and I did shuffle, lots of shuffle. But you know what? This is really pretty much, this is an awesome card when it's like a no contact read, in my opinion, because this is saying that you need to clear the air. It's time to clear the air. It's time for you to metaphorically clean up your side of the street and look at what in the relationship was yours, what issues, what stuff, and what was your partner's, and the need to clean up whatever's no longer necessary, whatever can be holding negative energy, so that positive energy can then come in, you know. But you need to really do this. It's like sit down and go through what's gone on and release any burdens. You know, everyone has some kind of baggage. People bring it into the relationships. It's nobody's fault. It's part of the human condition. It's what happens. But you do have to get to a point, if you're lucky, at some point you wake up enough and you're conscious enough to understand that you really have to sit down and look at that stuff and figure out what's real, first of all, and what's not, and what's serving me and what's not. But I get that because this is the crowning energy for the reading, your partner needs to do this too. The only warning here, though, Taurus, is that there is the potential, and I'm not saying this is for all of you, but some people with this energy will end up trying to clean up their partner's side of the street. And I think you know what I mean by that, right? So you want to try to be mindful not to do that, because you're not helping yourself, you're not helping them, and you're not helping the relationship by trying to not have them be accountable for things they did in the relationship because you're scared of maybe losing them again. You don't want to do that. That's not going to serve you, and that's going to create a very cyclical situation. right? Because if you're identifying things that did not work for you in the relationship before and red flags that you are suddenly seeing now that were there, but that you were choosing not to see, if these are identifiable issues, if you don't address them, if you guys get back in contact, that issue is going to remain. Especially if it's something that your partner may not even realize they're doing, because it's only through awareness that we can grow and change. They might not even know it. They might not want to hear it, but you know what? If you guys get back together, you have to take that chance. And that is what that means. So, I love that, because this tells me you guys can totally end up having a healthy new foundation. You're just going to have to clean your stuff up. And that's it. All right, so let's get into this. This is going to be this first row, like I said, this is intended to be your partner. As you're hearing it, if you want to flip the energy, whatever, the energy is here. You apply it however you see fit. But we have the Three of Pentacles reversed, which is an energy of feeling unmotivated to work at something anymore. And this type of unmotivation comes from feeling like they've seen it all before. And yeah, it's this cyclical thing. So I don't know, maybe you guys have been in a lot of back and forth stuff. You know what I mean? Break up, get back together, break up, get back together, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm getting that they feel like, you know what, I can't keep doing this. And they felt this, but I'm getting that, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, they're just very, very unmotivated because they don't think that you guys could actually work your stuff out to make the relationship work in real time anymore. Yeah. But this energy does indicate somebody handling something very badly. So, I mean, and maybe them, or maybe they're thinking that you handled something badly. Yeah. But on a mundane level, this could be, for some of you, dealing with your partner's job or a piece of property that they have where there's an issue with it. But regardless, the overwhelming energy I get here is lack of motivation because of this fear of a cycle going on and now feeling like, what's the point, kind of like at a certain point. And then we have the Four Swords reversed, which tells me your partner needed a timeout because they felt out of control of something. They felt like there was not much that they could do to change the situations that were going on between you two. And they needed, at least for a minute, to surrender and take a time out. I'm getting they felt like they really, really needed peace. And they were rethinking and working through arrangements and situations in their head. Like what happened, who said what, why did this happen, where is this going? Really thinking about everything, trying to come to terms with the relationship because they were feeling that it was just not right for them and it wasn't working anymore. And in their mind, they wanted to better understand this. But I have to tell you, this is the second or third reading. This is like the third reading. I'm not going to say in a row, but I only have Aries after you guys. So I've done all the other signs. I think this is the third one where I'm getting that your partner's not looking at themselves in a way where they're owning their part of whatever the issue was in your relationship, which goes back to this clean it up oracle. I'm getting that they're not cleaning it up, like the garbage was piling high on their side of the street and they were ignoring it, or they were choosing not to see it, whatever. They weren't able to see it. But yeah, so they were looking at these cycles, the fighting, and then making up some kind of thing that you guys were going through as something that was exclusively your issue. Everything was kind of because of you. There's some deflection here. See, because nothing here indicates to me that they took ownership of what's going on. I don't know, Taurus, maybe they have reason to think like this, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting that your partner came into this relationship with a certain agenda and not having every one of their boxes checked, so to say. They took that as the relationship having an innate seed of failure. But I'm not getting that they don't care. It's more of like an emotional shallowness to them, like a lack of depth and connection. Like they just didn't want to deal with the tough stuff in a relationship. But I don't even think they're aware of that. I really don't. I'm sorry, Taurus. I'm just going to say, I feel like your partner at this point was very emotionally shallow. I'm not saying they weren't caring at all. I'm not saying they're not intelligent. I'm saying that they really didn't understand what relationship means. You know what I mean? Like what it means to really work at trying to work through and figure things out together. That was just way too much work for them. And in their mind, they believed that if that's necessary, then it's not a good relationship. I'm getting that your partner considered you to have an unhealthy relationship because you guys had issues, instead of understanding and realizing that issues are a part of every single kind of relationship. If you have a relationship where there's no fighting, that means people are avoiding. That means people are hiding. Because the human condition does not support perfect anything, whatever the hell that means. But you get what I'm saying. But they didn't want to deal with that. That's what I'm getting. But I'm not getting that they didn't care. They just didn't want to deal with the amount of work that was going to go into it. So that's what I'm getting. And then we have the Four of Wands reversed, which tells me that your partner started to feel invisible and not heard in the relationship, like an outsider. And they started to feel like the environment that you guys shared together, within your relationship, was just not right for them. It wasn't the right place for them, But this is the thing with this card and this energy. Usually it indicates that the person whose energy it's reflecting is right to think that. And that the environment that they're in is likely not for them. But you would know this, Taurus, obviously better than me, but it's like if this situation for whatever reason became too toxic, I have a feeling your partner just felt it in their best interest to take a time out or leave altogether. This does not mean that anything was necessarily your fault, though, but just that in their mind, they no longer felt motivated to stay because they felt like it was not a good thing for them. So right, wrong, or indifferent, shallow, not shallow, whatever, that's why I'm getting that they really did not want to deal with this situation anymore. And then the first row of energy we have for you is the Knight of Wands, which is telling me you're in a place of really wanting to move things forward in this relationship, but that many of you are actually feeling really impatient and maybe even making snap judgments about your partner because they didn't seem to be wanting to move forward as quickly or in the way that you saw you guys moving forward in. But Taurus, I'm not saying this because I'm doing your video, because you guys know if I do call it like how it is. But I'm getting that if you did do that, I totally understand why you did it. Because there's a connection missing here between your partner's deep soul and the relationship. But I don't get that there's any malice. Seriously. This is another energy where I feel like this is the third one. Yeah, they're just not very emotionally intelligent. Doesn't mean they're not smart. They just don't understand what relationship actually means, what it looks like. This could be left over from their childhood. It could be from a bunch of things. But whatever the reason, they really don't understand the depth and real components of real life relationships. I feel like that more than anything, because I don't feel like your partner is a malicious person at all. I'm not getting that energy at all. I'm really not. I actually think they seem like a very nice person. I could see why you fell in love with them, the energy that I'm feeling. But I feel like they lack this depth, but it's more of a not knowing. Yeah, okay. And then we have the Six of Pentacles reversed, which tells me a couple of things. For some of you, money could have been an issue. That was, money that was coming to you or came to you, but you weren't able to keep it. Maybe some of you were in a place where you got yourself into debt, it happens, right? Or maybe you were in a space of overspending a lot. But I'm getting that some of you went through a period of something very negative about money. And maybe some of you were even feeling a little envious of others who had more than you had. And, we don't like to admit that to ourselves, but maybe that was something that you were feeling that is coming across for a number of you. But then I'm also getting for some of you, if it's not money, that you didn't feel supported by your partner emotionally, and that you found the conditions that the relationship grew into to be completely unacceptable for you. And this energy does not support you compromising at this point, because it would have ultimately been damaging for you somehow. I feel like there's recognition from you at this point that you and your partner don't actually share the same values, that a lot of lip service and word salad was thrown around in the beginning of the relationship regarding what you each believed. But then as time progressed and the relationship moved forward, you started to realize that in fact your values and morals did not line up in the way that you had initially seen, which is, look, I mean, cut yourself a break. When you're new in a relationship, you want to see things. A lot of times things are said in the beginning of a relationship, that you think the other person's going to want to hear. Don't beat yourself up. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're human, But I am getting that there's this realization by you at this point where, you know what? I don't think we want the same things. I actually don't think that we are, on the same page with values and stuff. But just 2 different pages. I'm getting 2 different pages. Like, not only now, but even the way you guys saw the relationship moving forward. And you started to feel really like you were not being treated fairly. And then we have the Justice card, which tells me that you're in a place of really wanting to address the imbalances in the relationship. Just as in the Libra card, which is the 7th sign, the 7th house, we look for information about marriage, partnerships, and intimate relationships. So I'm getting that you were very much in a place of wanting to try to figure things out. You were very in support of the relationship. I'm absolutely getting that. So this could have been a beneficial energy, except accountability and complete honesty would have been necessary. And I'm getting that you were just not able to get that from your partner. And everything started to feel very chaotic for you, and you just need to feel empowered again. You felt the need to take a moral stand on something that was going on around you in the relationship. But Taurus, I'm getting that your partner was just not in the space to give you what you needed. And I just feel like, they felt like, we argue, this is a terrible relationship, and you're there trying to fix it, and they're not working with you, and that's what I'm getting. Yeah. Okay. So the first energy in where your partner is now, I'm getting, we got the Death card, okay, which is a Scorpio influenced card, which is really not a bad omen. The Death card is not bad. Okay, I actually love this card. It's the energy of transition and transformation, and, of willingness too. Because remember, Scorpio's not afraid of the dark and not afraid of death. So this tells me there's a completion here of one chapter, in your life, only to start a new beautiful chapter, Yeah. So Scorpio is the 8th sign in the 8th house, where we look for information about sex, death, joint resources, other people's money. And that's a really good energy to be in as you're transitioning, because in order for a healthy regeneration to happen, you really need to address those areas, this idea of how you guys connect and your resources and the values you share. This is a very deep energy. It's very, very emotional. Scorpio is a water sign, but very, very, very emotional. Very deep. Yeah. And then we have the Hermit card. This is a Virgo energy. And yeah, this is the, lonely but not alone card. And this is also, as the Virgo, any Virgo could tell you, it's very lonely at the top, especially when others are expecting you to come forward with, expect them to come forward with seeds of wisdom and fix everything. And this is what I'm getting your partner feels right now. I'm getting that they feel the mending of the relationship is falling on their shoulders. And they are, by choice right now, staying very solitary in their thoughts and feelings. It's very isolated. Virgo's the 6th sign, with the 6th house, where we look for information about work and service to others more than anything. So in this way, I'm getting that they're trying to figure out what you need to do for them, what they need to do for you. Basically, what does the relationship need? What do you need to do differently for each other? Yeah. But 2 things to keep in mind with this energy. First of all, like I said, this is the card of being alone, not lonely. So that means your partner is here by choice, being very introspective and feeling like everything is falling on them. But they're putting themselves in that space by not reaching out to you. Right? They don't have to figure everything out in this relationship with you to move forward. It's actually not a good idea to do that, because they're going to create this checklist of how everything should be. And then if you guys connect again, maybe your ideas are a little different. In Taurus, you have to stand your ground. So I'm getting that that's where they are right now. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. But they're making this choice. And too, though, this energy does also symbolize stability and practicality, which I do like. I really like that, because I feel like your partner is in a space, or is evolving into a space, where they're being very real and very practical about what's going on and what's necessary to change. It's silly that they're doing this alone, though, instead of just calling you. But I feel like they're very sort of in their head still at this point. And then we have the Nine of Wands, which is the Moon and Sagittarius energy. And this is a very meditative influence on the Moon. Your partner's feeling very guarded right now, very defensive, I'm getting, yeah. Feeling like when you guys speak, it's going to be an argument straight out of the gate. I'm getting your partner is not going to put their guard down if you guys communicate, if that happens. So Taurus, be mindful of that. Yeah. And your partner's becoming very philosophical place, very deep, you know. But they're having some very wicked spiritual battles within themselves, and they're really trying to become stronger as a result of it. Yeah. They're really trying to become stronger regarding this relationship. Yeah, because that Sagittarian and lunar blend of emotion and reason can help them build like a wall of strength and resolve and self-reliance that I feel like they think they need right now. Because I'm getting they feel afraid of feeling too much emotion and having that, you know, maybe cloud their ability to be able to do what needs to be done in the relationship. So yeah, but meanwhile they're not calling you, so what the hell is that about? I don't know. All right, so then we have the first in your advice column, which is karma, which shows cycles and change that have to be respected, and that everything is happening for a reason. You need to honor the changes in your lives right now and grow with them. This goes for both of you. There are spiritual forces at work right now, and it's time for you to make, both of you, for you to each make a very important decision regarding your relationship, because your destiny is going to be shaped by the choices that you make now. And keep in mind that the karma to follow will be of your own making. Your relationship karma is going to be of your own making. So be really aware of your actions, you know, really, and your intentions too on a spiritual level. Because, you know, karma always has its way. And you both need to work consciously to create a positive transformation in this relationship. No more screwing around. No more cycles. The cycles have to stop. Cycles have to stop. And I'm looking like the energy is supporting you guys to do that. Then we have the Five of Swords. This is telling me that one of you or both of you felt very humiliated and embarrassed about something. Yeah, but this definitely indicates to not give up, because if you don't give up, there's such a beautiful transformative element about this energy. Yeah. And then we have the Ten of Swords, which is Sun in Gemini, which is beautiful, right? Because it's ruled by the Sun, which is consciousness and enlightenment. So the thing is, with this being Gemini energy, those of you who know Geminis, you know, they're pretty talkative. Sometimes, you know, all that talking can lead sometimes to backstabbing. Not that it's a Gemini doing this. We're just talking about the energy. Backstabbing and gossip and vicious personal attacks. And, you know, even when Gemini's intellectual energy is contained, it could still really pierce our confidence with pains of self-doubt, you know. It's tough getting into an argument with a Gemini, you know. But when the Sun passes by within this energy, what I love is that it like clears away shadows that are maybe hiding things we need to look at, and it exposes a truth. And sadly and often the truth hurts, especially when the Sun reveals the karmic fallout of some sort of, you know, personal destruction going on, bad behavior. And while all of that can seem a little scary, it does represent full consciousness and release, which I like. So nothing is hidden anymore. Nothing is hidden. You know, and the 10 swords is in the 10th sphere of earthly reality. So that's as real as it gets, which is necessary, right? If you're going to rebuild something. But this tells me the ending of a cycle, the beginning of another, which is great for those of you who really want to get back into this relationship. I do like that. All right, and I love your final outcome of the Six of Wands. This is a Jupiter and Leo energy. Many also call this the Lord of Victory card, so that's awesome. You know, also corresponds to the Sun, another Sun card, so you have a lot of support here. Yeah, this just really shows victory over a battle that's been really hard fought, fought for you guys. Yeah. And this does also indicate mutual respect, which is really good, which is needed. Yeah. All right, so let's turn over the card to see if you guys are going to be getting back in contact again. Let's see what we have. Yes, okay, that's the Seven of Pentacles. That is a yes card in this deck. So that's great. We do like that. And then I have two more cards, and Taurus, these are just for you. This is an oracle just for you, which is Serendipity. That's beautiful. Okay, so this card indicates that there is someone in your life, and because of this reading, I'm going to say your partner, but I'm going to say something about this after, or someone you're going to meet who is vitally important to your life's journey. This is very divinely driven. Divine forces are at work here. This entire thing is part of Spirit's overall plan. The Spirit does have an overall plan for us, though we still have free will. This doesn't mean that you don't have free will to make whatever choices you want within this space, but this does say that the situation is divinely driven. So for those of you who want to stay in this relationship and try to work it out, this card is a blessing. Those of you who realize this relationship is not good for you and you need to leave, this says that Spirit is going to place you in front of the right person at the right time, and this person is going to be incredibly important in your life. So either way, that's very positive. It's very positive. Okay, and let's see what you are. Your prediction card is the Nine of Swords. Taurus, don't be so worried. You're so worried. This is the thing, guys. Like attracts like. You have to believe in as above, so below. Please don't make me whip out all of those, all of those Hallmark card sayings, Listen, if you're feeling so anxious, you're going to end up with common sense. You're going to end up projecting negativity onto what you guys are trying to fix, if that's the situation. Now, for those of you who are feeling a lot of anxiety and depression because your partner did something really bad to you, cheated, lied consistently, whatever, stole money from you, just whatever, fill in the blank, right? So many situations that could go on. This could indicate you really feeling conflicted about getting back into that space. And I'm going to tell you, as just your tarot reader, and walk away. Walk away. Toxic relationships have no space in anybody's life. Some people just need to really go off into the sunset and figure their shit out and come back when they're ready, right? Because bad behavior, no one deserves to be treated badly, No one deserves that, okay? So that might be for some of you. And then the other ones, like if you guys are working this out, but you're obsessing over, well, what if this doesn't happen, and trying to like hyper organize and hyper focus on things, let it go. This is divinely blessed. Let it go. Just let life happen and just enjoy each other. Just love them. Just love them. Just love them. That's it. That's it, Taurus. That is what I have for you. I'll see you guys next week for the end of May reads. Take care. Bye-bye.